Hey everybody, Deadline here. Welcome back to part 2 of why I'm incredibly bullish on Veve. In part 1 we talked about the crypto industry and the simple mechanics of Veve. Why I really love the simplicity of the app and the core business in of itself. So here in part 2 I want to go over some more in-depth details in the app itself, what's coming in the short to medium future, and what we already have. Plus, I think a few things that I would like to see as well. Now, first of all, I want to talk about the MCP program on Veve, because the Master Collector program is what is incredibly bullish for me. When I read the white paper, so to speak, for the MCP program, I was immediately triggered by it. I not in a bad way. I was triggered in a positive way, because I could immediately see this next layer to collecting, where you would have this program that would incentivize a lot more people to becoming collectors and getting into, first of all, crypto early, but also then just getting into the collecting space and the fun and enjoyment that I think will ultimately be created on the Veve platform. So, Master Collector program. I mean, first of all, listen to the name, Master Collector program. That is so cool. I think a lot of kids, a lot of young new users will absolutely go mental for something like this, to acquire a higher rank, to go for different tiers, play around with it. You know, I think this is something that will be really interesting. Also tying into some kind of game mechanic, maybe even someday. So I have personally bought into the MCP. Again, I'm not talking about MCP because I bought into it. I want to make that extremely clear. I'm talking about it because of fundamentals, and I bought into it because I think the core mechanic of MCP is great. So just briefly, if you don't know anything about it, it's simply just holding collectibles on the Veve platform. You will get points for each collectible, and if you have completed full sets, you'll get more points, and you can then get a higher rank based on how much you're holding, how long you're holding it, and these kind of things. So we know with the MCP program as of now, I will link to the article in the description, but we know as of now that you'll unlock different tiers and you'll be able to get perks and utility, which is, I think this is just where things are going and heading. Again, when it comes to the blockchain, I think this is exactly the utilization you're going to see when it comes to having more fun and apps, and the blockchain being more engaging for people, more secure, more engaging, more accessible. So the MCP is definitely the main thing that I'm looking forward to on the platform. Now, more than that, we have the VeveVerse. Now, all this metaverse talk is something I don't know, I don't really understand it, because in my opinion, we're already in the metaverse. I don't think we're going to create a metaverse. I just think we're going to create a 3D space. I don't see the point of it and the big deal, really. Now, I'm really beginning to see the point of it. When they showed off the demo, Veve just showed a demo at one of their Comic Cons, I think it was, and I saw the amount of details going into it, and I'm finally beginning to understand why the VeveVerse might become huge and become something completely different from what we think it's going to be. I can see a world where we're really not even on the app itself. We're maybe, you know, if you're in a car or you're just want to check a few prices real quick or buy something, you can flip through the app and the store. But the majority of the time you're in the VeveVerse. If you're looking for collectibles you want to buy, you're in the 3D space and looking in museums and bidding on pieces and all of this, having auctions live. Excuse me. Having these live auctions while you're in there interacting and having fun and just, you know, having a different experience in the verse itself, the VeveVerse. So it's muddy here. So I'm starting to really see the potential for the VeveVerse and for setting up and I want to be very clear here, like you're setting up a space in 3D in this digital landscape that has value. I think this is really misunderstood. I think you're going to feel a lot more at home in the VeveVerse or in whatever metaverse that's going to be created. Because if you think about it, it takes energy to create anything in the real world, and it takes energy to secure the blockchain, and therefore it takes energy for your collectible to exist. And the difference between a physical object and your 3D object is a lot similar than you think. And I think this barrier is going to get more and more dissolved over time, and people are going to feel a lot more at home in the VeveVerse than what you can imagine now. That is something that is slowly beginning to really cement itself in my brain and in my way of thinking about it. And this concept is something I've gotten from Michael Saylor, talking about Bitcoin and energy, and yeah, I think it's really bullish. I think it's really cool. I think it's vastly misunderstood. So that's the second really bullish thing for me. So other than that, we have artworks. Now artworks is something we have been talking about for a few months in the community, and we've finally gotten it. Artworks is simply just one of ones, so there's not, you know, more than one of an artwork from an artist. And we're already starting to become very used to it. We're not really talking about it anymore. There's artworks every week, every second week, and they're just on the app being bought and sold, and no one is really talking about it. And it's really crazy to think about when you don't have something, you know, you're speculating a lot on it, and when you finally have it, it's just like meh. Like imagine if we didn't have Disney, and now we have Disney and we have so much from Disney, and everyone is just like meh. I'm just gonna sell my golden moments because I mean it's incredible, you know. That's human psychology 101. But I'm also bullish on the artworks. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they will come up with, what licensors they'll get on board for artworks. So really excited for that one. See where it goes. Now, as we have the MCP, we also have the OUP, which is the OMI utility program. So that's just the utility program for the OMI token. And I'm not really into that. I've read the white paper on it and the roadmap, but I'm not invested into the OMI token. I have been, but now I'm just into collectibles. I'm focusing more on those than the OMI utility program, or the OMI token. And the utility program is something along the lines of the MCP, but just with the token itself, which is supposed to replace the gems we have on the app that represents the dollar. So one day, all the gems, I think, will be gone, maybe, and we will just have the OMI token. I'll link to the Omi utility program in the description, and you can take a look at it, but it's a little bit complicated, and I'm not really into it. I think it's going to be great. I think it is again bullish for Veve to have these programs, these utility programs for different aspects of the platform, and that's just, it furthers my bullishness on the platform. There's a lot going on, a lot of different creative thoughts are being had, which is really cool. All right, now let's get into some of the more speculative things, but still bullish for me. I have a few more things I want to discuss. Another thing is the augmented reality. So augmented reality is really interesting. I think I'm starting again to further and getting a more deep understanding of augmented reality. I think I'm starting to get the bullishness for augmented reality. I'm still only halfway there, I would say, but I can definitely see a future where you have some pretty cool products, glasses, visors, whatever you have. Contact lenses, I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit further out. But I can definitely see a future where you can have some amazing augmented reality experiences. Again, augmented reality is just you having something in front of your eyes, which then displays, a 3D collectible onto the terrain in front of you. Or on your phone, for example, it can put a collectible like into the physical environment. And I think we're going to have some cool experiences with that technology. I think it's really difficult to understand now and really grasp what will make it so cool, because it just looks a little clunky as of now. But I can definitely see a future with better phones, better cameras, maybe some better AI, where this is going to be utilized a lot more and a lot better. So yeah, augmented reality is, I'm not quite there yet. I want to see some cool products from Apple maybe before we go there. All right, so a few more points, and one of the last ones is just utility in general on the app and renting out your NFTs. So I've heard a few YouTubers commenting on this topic about renting out NFTs. Again, like augmented reality, I'm not quite there yet. I can't really put my finger on how you're supposed to rent something out and the utility behind it. I'm not quite seeing it yet, but I can speculate on it, and I can see a future where you have some sort of utility for your NFTs or the tokens, the Omi token, where you would maybe let's just stick to the NFTs, for example. You would rent out your NFTs to someone else for the utility. I think renting out NFTs is going to be, it's going to be really difficult landing the right NFTs for the right utility. But this is really interesting, like renting out NFTs. That is just crazy to think about. You would be able to rent them out. I mean, I think renting is a lot further out into the future than we think. But again, the ability to just being able to rent out your NFT is so exciting. I mean, that is really bullish. That is really, really exciting, and just creative way to utilize your collectibles again. Now, and yeah, that's also touching a little bit upon the utility side of it. I mean, utility, we don't really have utility yet. We have seen a few things with Golden Moments. You get some Disney Plus subscriptions for, a few months, and I don't know if utility will come like later, and then the utility is going to come to the NFTs, or how this is going to work. again, I'm only halfway there in figuring this stuff out, and I think I need more time to really get bullish on those things. But yeah, I've saved one of the very nice, one of the very exciting things for last, and that is Veve for kids. I think this platform, this app is going to really land well with kids. And in terms of how old you're supposed to be before you can interact with Veve, the platform, buying NFTs and all of this, that's up for debate. We don't know really yet. I think you have to be 18 to use the app as of now, because you have to, use credit card and buy stuff and all this. But I can definitely see a future where you can play around in the VeveVerse. You can visit your favorite creators, your YouTubers, and the owners of the business, David Yu, visit their house with their NFTs and their collectibles, and I can definitely see a future. This is something I'm really excited about, where a lot of much younger audience is onboarding and coming to Veve. I think it speaks to kids and to a new generation, actually. That is really exciting. That is something I'm incredibly bullish on. So yeah, that's it for me. These are the points that I think drives the bullishness for me on Veve. And if you resonate with any of this, please leave a like. If you don't, do whatever you want. Dislike is also fine. I would really like to have a conversation with some of you that know more about this in the comments. So please leave a comment if you have anything you want to discuss and talk about. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.